out of 100, you can say hardly 4 to 5 startups which get mentored by these incubation centers, they come out and they bloom. The other rest 95%, they don't tend to do so well. So what do you think is the cause?
It's a hustle life, right? You need to hustle more and more to get more and right. Incubator and mentors, they need to teach that if you are registering this startup, this is the amount you need to bear every year, right? Are you ready for it? There I realized that market में पैसे भी कमी नहीं है. ठीक है, there are a lot of government funds, lot of incubator fund right now, but the founders need to understand how to utilize this fund and how to apply for those funds.
So actually you need revenue to generate revenue. In startup is into drone technology. How can one build a career in drone technology?
I always will recommend before registration, try to make some money. And again, where to arrange, it's always a mystic thing, entrepreneur being on the table, right? They have their own sources. They are junoon hai na, they can arrange money from anywhere. Yeah. Just passion hona chahiye.
So welcome Subham. It's glad to have you on our podcast today. So could you please introduce yourselves for the audience?
Yeah, hello everyone. Hello Sudipta. I'm Subham Acharya. I'm the director and CTO of FxUAV Technologies Private Limited. We are a drone company where we are building drone electronics, particularly for the urban logistic. We are building the 5G solutions, 5G boards, first of its kind in India right now. We have patented such technologies, and we are trying to bring that technology into the urban logistic part, where we can imagine a future where the drones will be doing the last mile delivery. Okay. So for that thing to happen, our product need to go inside the drone. So that is where we are placing our company right now, and that's
So mostly it's into so as it is into drone technology. How do you see the future of drone technology in India? Because a lot of sectors, growing sectors in India, mostly in drone sectors, the initial principal amount to invest in drone technology, it is too high, sir. Not a lot of people can invest in. So how do you tend to solve this challenge?
I think there are two questions. First of all, let me tell you about the financial part, where we are dealing. This is a very simple funda in this funding era right now. If you are starting a space tech startup, the funding amount, good funding amount is around 2 crore, 3 crore, 4 crore. If you are starting a drone company, the funding amount will be around 50, 20 lakhs, 50 lakhs, 70 lakhs, 80 lakhs. It's a good amount. If you are starting a chips company, 10 lakhs, 15 lakhs, that is a good amount. So what is your product? What is the unit cost of your product? That depends on how much funding is required right now for your company. So, and funding varies. See, if you are starting a space tech company, you have something in innovation, you approach the investors, they understand that this is a high value company, a high value innovation, so we will put around 2-3 crores. They will not think about 10 lakhs or 20 lakhs. So investors also understand what kind of product you are building and how much money is necessary, if your ask is valid or not, and everyone knows what the market is all about. So that is a part. And the second thing, talking about drone industry, what you asked me, and I see drone industry to be booming in India very soon. It's a bubble again. The bubble will burst someday. We'll see drone everywhere in everyone's hand. But till then, I think every company is looking to make some good money. That's what I think.
Absolutely, because of the growing sector, a lot of companies, the market is too scattered, and there is a lot of space, I think so, in the drone sector. So companies like your FxUAV and IG drones, correct, they are blooming. And so, how do you tend to collaborate with IG drones, and is there anything that differentiates yours?
No, actually, we are already working with IG drones.
Okay.
If I talk about IG drones, both the founders are my alumni, and we are very close to each other. I talk about both the Mumbai. We regularly are in touch with each other, and any kind of problem is a client requirement. If I am not able to solve the client requirement, I immediately talk with Ombhai or Bodhibhai, or if they have some requirement, they immediately call me, Subham, do you have this thing or not with you? So see, in Odisha particularly, what I know, okay, there are 4 5 drone companies, and everyone is connected with each other, very well connected, because any kind of project or client is approaching to Odisha market, so everyone is connected. They talk with each other. Yeah, you have the drone, you have the drone free right now. If I can use it right now with me. So there was for example, there was a spraying some kind of requirement, right? So one company needed 10 drones at that time. So we all arranged one drone. So whatever we have. So that how we walk togetherly. We understand this is a competitive market, but yes, if the fund is coming, so we all collaborate with each other and look forward working with each other.
We forgot to mention for the audience, you, Bodhibhai, founder of IG Jones, all are a part of VSSUT and they are our college's alumni.
Correct.
Actually. So, sir, take us back to the beginning when you were in VSSUT. How did you start your journey? Means what motivated you to start FxUAV?
It's a very long journey, so I will just not drag too much. But I remember the day when we had our orientation at ECell. So I was sleeping in my hostel. It was around 4:30. Few seniors came and knocked the door. There's abhi chalna hai. It's the orientation time. Abhi tak soye kyun ho?
VSSUT culture.
Culture, it's right. So I woke up and I went to the auditorium. I don't know what happened to me. I thought I will pitch my idea. That was a very different idea from now. But there was Nachika Tripathi. He was in the final year. And the Sakti Bhai, I called Sakti Bhai ki I want to pitch some idea. And in front of some around 600-700 people, I pitched my idea directly. I was the only one who went down and pitched my idea. And the idea was all about something local, hyper local delivery thing. And it was having a term matcha, right? I was giving an example of a matcha seller, right? After that, majority, 90% of my friend, they didn't understand the idea. They started teasing me matcha. I had a second name in my college that was matcha, right? So everyone used to call me matcha. That was the story. After that, we started participating in one hackathon from Startup Odisha. And after that, we started FxUAV. When we started FxUAV at around 2021, I think just before COVID, there is a Mahabir Tower here. Uh, if I remember. And
For students to stay alone, other from the hostels.
Correct. So after first year, we went there. It was a newly built house, and above the house there was a very small storeroom. We talked with the owner. He was Nayan sir. We talked that we are starting a company and we are doing some kind of innovation. We want to rent that house. So he charged around 2,500 rupees, and there was no bathroom also, very small room, and some I think 100 square feet. So we agreed, and we used to pay him every month, and we started our journey there. And COVID hit, and it was very painful that we were not able to continue our part coming here and there. So the problem was that we were away from this lab around some 7 8 months. The rent was around 15,000. So we thought of leaving that room because it was not helpful for us. We are not able to walk there. So we talked with the owner. The owner just told, you give me just 15,000, I will let you take all the equipments. So we had no choice. I arranged some 6,000 rupees. One friend's father gave 4,000, and we arranged some 12,000 rupees, and we gave him. He agreed on that. So we shifted to some other places. And after COVID, we went to Debu, sir. We are doing such kind of UAV projects, and we want to show you what we are exactly doing. So he told to make a report on it, what exactly you are doing, and show me. So what we did, we took one complete night. We prepared around 80-90 page of document, and we showed him. So he was completely impressed. He kept that document in his drawer itself, and told where all this thing you are doing right now. We showed him the video that previously we were doing here, right now we are doing there. So he told, stop doing there and here and there. Just he assigned us the lab here, the top floor, which is right now the
ECell.
ECell. He assigned. He told, you right from now you walk there. I'm assigning you. I'm giving you someone's number. He will give the passcode and everything. So at that time it happened, and it actually helped me because I see we are right now. You guys are thinking of a TBI. We were also planning for TBI, but the help which Debu sir did at that time, giving us a room at that time, a space where we could work, we could grow, and it actually happened, and our company is right now doing good. So that story happened here itself, right? So it was just a help. So there are a lot of budding entrepreneurs in this college, and they really need some space and hand holding part, which if college is helping, and that will again help. So that was a small story. I will not drag much. You can go to the next question.
So actually, tough times create tougher men like you. And due to the tough times, you have learned how to overcome any small difficulties. So that helped you grow across the sectors, and even in your life, you could incorporate those values.
Yeah.
And also the fuel, the tiny bit of fuel that was fueled by Debusa, it helped your startup, not only your startup, it helped the growth of SAT, Startup Accelerator think tank, which also fueled a lot of startups in our college. So thanks a lot for that, sir.
So actually, talking about SAD was the sole idea of Robin Bhai. He was the coordinator at that time, and he came to me, "Ki, Subham, I want to start something for the entrepreneurs part, because inside ECell, we everyone was calling ECell as an event club only. So at that time, the reputation was like that. So no one is calling entrepreneurship club or startup club. So that vibe was not coming out of this club. So we want to build something for the entrepreneurs. So I am building SAT. I have thought of a startup acceleration think tank, but I don't know how. But I am giving you complete responsibility. You need to do it. So he gave me complete authority. I remember, and after that we built SAT, and where we made a policy that whoever have an idea or thought to start something, irrespective of the branch or any other club, if they are in ECL or not, they can join SAT. So that helped us, and a lot of startup in those days they joined us at that time. A lot of junior startup, but the thing was. Uh, no one is right now continuing the startup, but trust me, I have met them recently, so many people, and they're really some dynamic personality they have right now. So if not, they are continuing the startup, but they have built something inside them which is completely helping them in their life, right?
Life. It's not only about the startup which grows. It's about the personality
Personality.
and the values you incorporate in their
Correct.
life. Sir, so how do you think the innovator, a lot of incubators, incubation centers exist to help the budding startups, and they provide seed funds, grants, and a lot of other support like mentorships. So, do you think all of these are helpful for all of the students or all of the startups? Because a lot of the student startups, they get trained by these mentors, but we don't see any success or uh, out of 100 you can say hardly 4 to 5 startups which get mentored by these incubation centers, they come out and they bloom. The other rest 95% they don't tend to do so well. So what do you think is the cause?
See, what I experienced after leaving the college, or while I was in my final year. So I understand a lot of incubators and mentors, they don't actually guide you regarding the compliance rate, right? So in India, we have a very high rate, very lengthy compliance thing. So if you are registering a startup, you need to hire a CA within 30 days. You need to have a bank account within 15 days. Otherwise, you will have some good amount of fine. Apart from that, you have to prepare an audit report every year, right? So you have to put the face value of the company. There are a lot of things, right? So that kind of knowledge is not available. I don't think so the incubators are providing the entrepreneurs before they are starting, or while they have already have an idea. So what I think, the incubators or the mentors, they should teach the entrepreneurs that ये procedure है. These are the 10 steps. These are the lengthy steps. These are the main steps that you need to follow while you register your startup. So if you are able to do such thing, you are able to take that cost, because everything comes with a cost. Every year your CA will be charging some around starting from 10,000 to 30,000. In Odisha right now, in Delhi you will see it's 50,000 to 70,000. Every year your CA will charge, right? Apart from there are other GST, GST billing also. Every quarterly you are doing, a monthly you are doing. So there are a lot of things which drain money from the founder, right, or the company. So the entrepreneur must mentally get prepared that yes, this is the time I need to register my startup. After I register, I need to go through such compliances, and yes, if I can bear that cost, then I'm good to go right now. One it's like incubator is saying that तुम register कर लो, we will incubate you. Otherwise we won't.
So while setting up the TBI and whilst in the starting phase of your startup life, what challenges did you face actually? Because as a student, it's tough to manage academics, it's tough to manage the finances and other club activities as well. So how did you overcome all these challenges?
It's depend upon the entrepreneur, right? It's a hustle life, right? You need to hustle more and more to get more and more, right? So if you have to manage everything, I won't say sitting in the college right now, I can never say that skip your academics or skip your labs, right? It both are important because ultimately it provide you a degree and a knowledge about your core branch, right? And that is actually necessary. I have done all my classes in my final year, not talking about my third or second year, but yes, because the classes what I attended, I realized I whatever the teacher is teaching, that much was helpful for me. So I was not doing any self study in my room, and in the evening time I was in my club in this room, and I and my junior Satyam, he's also with us right now, Satyam Das, and we used to walk here completely till 10:30. After that we go back, right? So and the evening time it was ESL time, and also a few time for the friends. So yeah, we entrepreneur need to manage everything, every part, and need to consider everything, need to look after. If see, you have a project or you have some deadline for your startup, so you need to work overnight, right? Sure. After that again you need to go to the lab in the morning. So for that you need to be very much active. And what at this part of my life I realize that health is a very big thing. You need to keep your health up to date, because you can't afford becoming ill, right? At my point, if I get ill, I am losing 2 to 3 days of my work, right? So it's very costly for me again. So that is a part. Coming to the TBI part, what I remember, Debu sir once told me that we are setting up a TBI, and we want to incubate you at that time. So, but there are some procedures, right? So he told me to connect with, I think at that time, Bodhi bhai or Om bhai. I connected with someone. I know I connect with Apur Masuk bhai, right? He is the founder. I was talking about Apur bhai. He is the founder of Spacefield, and he's really doing a great job right now. And he advised me how to do the paperwork for the TBI. I did something, but again, it never went ahead because see, no one was there to teach us how to do that thing, right? Debu sir was solely managing everything, and he was doing taking care of the academics part, also taking a part of this TBI as well as this building completely. So he was into a lot of things right at that point. So it didn't. I think it was way before the time. Right now is the right time to start, because there are, I think, 30 plus startups in ESL as the VSSUT. So this is the right time for TBI to come out from VSSUT.
So actually, what are the challenges? As you have stated, there are 30 plus startups, and they are in our ESL 30 plus startup student ideas, but they don't receive enough support, because not only our club gives them as much support as we can, and due to the setup of this TBI, we tend to help even more, and we can give all the support we can. But regarding the finances, they need to learn how to manage those finances.
Yeah.
Not only the finances, but also they need to learn how to overcome the challenges and how to tackle and make connections at every step of the way. And there are a lot of incubation centers which guide those students and guide those futures small budding entrepreneurs. So what are the still a lot of startups, they fail to reach that stage at which they aspire to become. So what is the main cause, do you think? Because out of 100 startups, only 5 to 10 startups which receive those incubations, they tend to reach the peak, and the others, they don't do so well for themselves. So what do you think is the problem?
I will love to mention that what I believe mentor and incubators, they what they're lacking right now is they need to give the knowledge about the compliances thing, which startup need to do to learn, understand while registering their startup. There are a lot of compliance thing, right? While you register a startup, you have to have a CA within 30 days, you have a bank account within 15 days. There are a lot of fines you can get, right? So everyone needs to teach. After that, you have to pay a good amount to your CA, and GST filing also that amount. If you are filing any patent, the cost of the patent, the attorney, how you want to write it. So a lot of things are there. So the incubator and mentors, they need to teach that if you are registering the startup, this is the amount you need to bear every year, right? Are you ready for it? Are your startup is into funding or into revenue, where from where or you are having a good amount which you can bootstrap right now? So a lot of things they need to teach, they need to prepare the entrepreneur mentally, because after registering the startup, the entrepreneur directly come into a world where a lot of things is unknown to him. The CA is telling, give me this paperwork. The startup is saying, I don't know what is this paper, right? I don't understand this paper. They talk with the investor. The investor says, this is the instrument I want to use. I want to use optionally convertible debentures, OCD, sorry. So how you need to do that? And the entrepreneur is saying, I don't know OCD, what OCD is right now. So he want to ask the CA. The CA, they also don't know that thing. The reason being, in 2017 or 2016, it was easy. So if an investor want to invest, they will take such amount of equity against the money, right? But after that instrument came in, yeah, this instrument are helpful for the startup, but the knowledge of such instrument is still very lower level in our ecosystem. So every entrepreneur, they need to learn this thing. If I call my chartered account and ask him, sir, I have an investment and this is the instrument I want to use, he will say that I don't have the knowledge of the instrument.
Absolutely.
So I need to talk with someone else. So few attorneys right now, few chartered account, they are learning about this thing. Now government has also taken mandatory that the chartered company secretaries also mostly will become mandatory in few days, right? So there are a lot of compliance thing the founder need to understand, because once the founder jumps into registering the startup, they will become very busy in admin part.
Okay.
So if they have co-founders, for example 2 to 3, so the incubator must say that तुम में से एक admin part देखेगा, right? You need to see the admin part, जो paperwork, CA, finance तुम देखोगे, rest will work on the marketing or the innovation part, right? So that how things should work, and that kind of knowledge should be given by the incubators. And coming to the money part, what I understand, when I was in my third year, uh, I went to a event. It's TIECON Kolkata. It was 2020, I guess. In my second year, I was in my second year, and I was just about to be top 12 startup who will be pitching with in front of 51 investors. But my bad luck, I remain in the top 18, not top 12, right? And I saw those 12 startups raised around some 7 crores in front of me from those 51 startups, right?
On that day.
Yeah, on spot. And after pitching their ideas, the investor was raising, and I want to put this much amount of money, I want to put that much amount of money. It was a panel of 51 investors, and
investor auction, you could say that.
Of course, that was a really good environment and energetic environment. Everyone was cheering, and there I realized that market में पैसे की कमी नहीं है. ठीक है, there are a lot of government fund, lot of incubator fund right now, but the founders need to understand how to utilize this fund and how to apply for those funds, right?
So actually, you need revenue to generate revenue. In a startup incubation, it flows like this because for incubations, in order to incubate a startup, they first ask the revenue, they ask the registrations, and to do those generate those revenue and for those registrations, they need at least 50,000 in there to spend and around 80,000 to 1 lakh in their bank account. So it is not possible for students. That's the main challenge as we start founders or a lot of our students, they face these problems, and because of that they withdraw from the idea and they can't move further. That's the main reason, sir. So as you are into your startup is into drone technology, how can one build a career in drone technology? How can they set up their life? Which course of action they have to take so that they can you can say they can come join your startup?
See, joining our startup, we always believe if we have a requirement, we will hire. If we don't, I think no company will hire if they don't have a requirement, unless and until it's an MNC or they are a very big companies. They can afford benching people.
Disguised unemployment.
But we can't, being a startup, we can't afford that. We only bring that much. But yes, of course, as we are growing, we always look into more good professionals with having a good knowledge in multiple fields, because in startup everyone looks the person to have 2 to 3 kind of skills. If they are into coding, so are they good at digital marketing or speaking or presenting? So that 2 3 things matters a lot in every startup actually, because that brings a X factor that yes, अभी ये बंदा नहीं है तो ये बंदा कुछ कर लेगा उस चीज में, वो पार्ट मैनेज कर लेगा. So it's more about that. And coming to arranging funds, as you mentioned, right? If I make you count each money, it will be around 60,000 to 70,000 if you are registering a company right now. But again, how someone will arrange it? I always will recommend before registration, try to make some money.
Sure.
Either a bootstrap or do freelancing. I was doing completely freelancing. I did around, I earned around some 2.5 lakhs from freelancing only in my college time, and that amount I invested in FxUAV, right? So I did a lot of freelancing to make money to sustain my company. So everyone can do that thing, right? That is the first part. Apart, if you are a tech startup, I think there are incubators who can fund directly, but you need to put the money first, right? You have to arrange some 50-60,000. And again, where to arrange? It's always a mystic thing. Entrepreneur being on the table, right? They have their own sources. They are junoon hai na. They can arrange money from anywhere.
Yeah.
Just passion hona chahiye, bhai.
You only need the willpower. Absolutely. So we have talked a lot about the startup, the technology, incubation. So let's come to your personal life, and because how do you manage family with having your own startup? Because the trend on social media nowadays, we mostly see the startup founders, they work 20 hours a day with 3 hours of sleep and 1 hour of self time. The most Instagram or Facebook pages, they show like this. Is this the reality of a startup founder?
That's not guaranteed, but it might vary from people to people. But I understand founders, the main founders' health is very necessary. Their employment's health is very necessary. For example, if I travel with my team to some event or some kind of client project or something, I ensure that they have good food, good stay, good sleep, because that what depend. Because on the day of the meeting, if the main management executive is not well, then the meeting is going somewhere else, right? So So I believe my people's health and my health is a very priority thing. The second part is about my family. See, this is a very good thing. I want to advise all the startups in the college. Final year, if you come to the final year, every family member will say, "Band kar startup, try placement," right? My family also did the same thing. They were also forcing me to sit in the placement, but I was not willing to. But then I realized that let try something, right? So what I did, Deloitte was the first company to come to VSSUT and at that time, and I and my co-founder Partha Saradidas, we applied for the we applied and we cleared the first round. We after that was the interview round, and in the interview round we both cleared the interview round, and in our section, mechanical section A, we were the two guys who got selected for the Deloitte, right? No one else got selected, and we both didn't go to Deloitte, right? We still have the Deloitte bags with us, but we didn't. The thing is, after that, I called my parents and told that, see, the Deloitte is Deloitte. We need to join Deloitte the next year, July. So I have around 12 months with me. So if I do something in that 12 months, then I don't need to join the Deloitte company. So you need to allow me 12 months. You need to give me the freedom for 12 months. And in January, in my final year, I raised the first seed grant, and which from STPI, and I showed my family that yeah, we raised the funding, and my family also were happy that yes, we did. And I don't know, but I think we are the first company in VSSUT. We raised funding while we were in final year.
Okay.
So we haven't graduated at that time. In the January month, we raised funding immediately, and my family was happy. And I advise all the startups, they should have a planning for their parents, right?
Absolutely.
Before final year or at the time of joining the entering the final year, you must have some backup plan to explain your father or mother, right? Because if you don't have, they will come ultimately force. I have seen my juniors, they are going through such thing. They had gone through, and ultimately they have joined companies, right? So they have left the startup. And again, I think you won't ask such thing, but I want to mention startup guilt is a very bad kind of guilt, right? I have seen such entrepreneurs from VSSUT, they couldn't continue, but they are still in the guilt that they couldn't continue. They admire me, but they still have that thing inside them. So that continue, but ultimately they have a goal in their mind. Life में ना कभी start करूँगा फिर, and that thought will completely again help them to start sometime in their life.
That's the entrepreneurial mindset which
Correct.
goes and helps in every sector of the life.
Correct.
And the parents, they just need an assurance
Correct.
कि बच्चा का जिंदगी secure हो.
Secure.
And they try to put all those assurance into one thing, which is getting a secure job, whether it is a placement in the final year or getting into a government job. If they get the assurance that if we can prove our parents, we can do something else. So once they see the results of our hard work, they are ready to invest their time, even if they have money. And a lot of beginner startups, what they do nowadays, if they come from a well-to-do family, they take a lot of money from their parents and they invest. And some others ask their parents and they complain like, "मेरे माँ बाप नहीं दे रहे, they don't support me," and such talks. But they need results. If once you raise around 5 to 10 lakhs, they won't hesitate to give you a 5 lakhs because they are our parents. Of course, they want to see us being successful in life. But at first, not only in this entrepreneur sector, I am speaking from experience actually. We can say in fitness, a lot of Indian mindset क्या बोलते हैं, जिम मत जाओ, पढ़ाई में फोकस करो. But once you work out on your own, you show the discipline, means getting up early, going for a early run. All of these come under the same grinding mindset, we can say.
Correct.
So if your parents see their kid is struggling, if he is aiming to achieve something, they would make sure that they will spend every penny, or they would give their efforts towards the students, their kids growth. That's all.
Actually, I have seen a company, I won't name the company name. They're very young people, I think younger than me, and they are starting a company. I also won't mention in which category that company is. When I went to their stall in one event, I saw everything and I told, I think some 50 lakhs amount of thing is here right now. And I asked them where you raised fund. They told we have already bootstrapped only. Mugali, this is I can see 50 lakhs amount of thing right here inside this stall, and they told we have bootstrapped up to 80 lakhs. And I don't know from where they got the money. I believe from parents because they haven't raised any funding or got any grant. But see, it's always vary people to people, right?
We can't say everyone has the same ending in their startup. Means if we can say that if he's receiving funding or bootstrap from support from the family, he's gonna ruin himself. But a lot of people who don't know the struggle, if they don't know the jugaad,
Correct,
main cheese.
absolutely. Because what I asked him about the 3D printer, what is the 3D printer? I saw one 3D printer is there. I told this is a good version, but other one is also a good version. And he told I also have the other one also. I also the recently conveyor belt 3D printer is there. I also bought that 3D printer also. So I thought they actually didn't understand the finance part, how in startup it's working. They have money, that's why they're draining it.
Yeah.
So they need to understand that if I have two, three 3D printers, I don't need another one. If a new model is coming, that doesn't mean that I will buy it until and I have a requirement. So founders, they need to understand that I'm the athani kharcha rupaya part thing, right?
Absolutely. So your startup, as you are a founder yourself, you have been helping other startups to grow as well. So could you share how you mentor and how you support those emerging entrepreneurs?
I have supported a lot. I think in my college time, I have supported, I've done hand holding literally. Many people told me to not to do hand holding, but I believe that, yeah, I think if I support them, that might help them. But ultimately, I shouldn't have done that hand holding part. I think as a mentor, we should always guide them. If the founder is not himself or herself is trying to do the same thing or not doing the hardcore part, then there might be some I think they're not built for entrepreneurship, right? So if we are doing the hand holding part, if such thing they are not able to do, we are helping them to do that thing, we are making the thing easy for them, then I think that won't last for long. They will fall someday, and I have seen many falling for them, falling for that thing. And after that, I left mentoring startups. I just only advise. I only speak facts. What is the truth inside this startup ecosystem? How things work exactly? How money flows and again flows out also, and how compliance work. I only help in those aspects rather than I also help in innovation part, technical part, but not hand holding type. So hand holding is a blunder thing. No one should do actually.
Not confronting, actual saying the truth, hurtful truth. That's all.
Correct. Yes.
So what advice would you give to students who are planning on starting their own ventures? What's the main rule they should keep in mind, main goal according to you?
If you're a student, then you have a very golden time period, the 4 years or 3 years, whatever you have with in a hand. It's a very golden period because here you will see, you will find some ecosystem, right? After going out, you will feel very lonely. You will see, you will find the real competition outside, and everyone is above you, right? And that might hit differently to I don't know how differently to everyone, but yes, that's the truth. Because here your seniors are there always, or your mentors, your college faculties, or your alumni, everyone, they might try to help you. But after going out from the college, everything is under you. You have to do everything from A to Z. You have to manage the company, your employees, your space, finance, and uh, funding and everything. So I don't think so. They should be mentally prepared, and they should understand. They should utilize this time in making the MVP ready. whatever the MBB, it's a B2C or B2B, it's a product based, service based. If it is service based, this is the best time to start, because आप किसी के पास जाओ, you say we are a student, we are starting something, and this is a service we are providing, will you buy it, right? And हाँ तुम student हो ना, तुम कुछ कर रहे हो ना, बढ़िया चीज है, दे दो, हम खरीद लेंगे. At that time you sell something, right? After coming going out, we are a startup and we are selling this. हाँ भाई तू कल आ, मैं देखता हूँ, right? That is the reality actually. So how much money you can make in this golden period is the real thing what you are doing right now in college time, right? So I want to say utilize maximum this time, because this time will never come back
actually. So the brand building, it starts from the age where you can nurture all of your mindset, and there are a lot of friends around you who can support you in any possible way. Even if you need a camera at the middle of the night,
correct,
you can get from anywhere in the hostel.
correct.
But once you are into the after the post college period, if you need anything or need any support, no one's gonna help you. They will look for their own time.
Correct.
And people tend to be selfish, and they will look for their own family, for their own well-being, and their own profit for any help. But student life, it's not selfish, but rather it's selfless.
Okay.
So you can get all the support, and you will also get all the, means it's a learning stage, you can say.
It's about the, see, inside the campus there are 700 800 students, right? You have a friend circle of 50 60, so they are very close to you. After going outside, you are at your hometown or somewhere in Bhubaneswar or someone in Bangalore, how they can help you. Also, if you are asking some financial help, at least they can help you 1 or 2 times, but again after that they won't pick your phone if you haven't returned the money. So I've seen some entrepreneurs going through such phase also, but I believe don't take a loan if you are a early startup or entrepreneur. Never take a loan. Always look for grants, and try to get government funding in the initial phase. Also, angel funding is also very good. And see, if someone is funding you, right, what other than money they are keeping on the table, and that is the best part. If someone is saying कि मैं तुझे 10 लाख दूंगा, but 10 लाख के साथ मैं तुझे 20 लाख का order भी दूंगा, because it's my market, I understand what you are building and I have connections, I will bring clients. At least साल का तो 20 लाख हम बनाएंगे मिलके, ठीक है? That's where you see it's a green flag, right? That investor is a green flag. Someone is saying कि मैं तुझे 50 लाख दे रहा हूँ, बाकी 2 साल बाद मिलते हैं. So it's not how things work, right? So they will give money, they will call you कि हमें audit report भेजो. Next year they will call you audit report भेजो, and that's how things work. But and everywhere that thing work everywhere. If you see, if I am mentioning Anupam Mittal, he has invested more than I think 200 startups. So, or I think 300 startups.
300 after the Shark Tank.
So how he used to manage such startups, right? The startup have to build their own journey, right? He is just there to help if you require anything. So that's how investor work. But again, if the investor is keen to help put something on table other than money, then it's a really good thing, and you have to consider that part also.
So a lot of startups nowadays, they tend to waste the investors' money. Means once they get the money, ACS, चलो उड़ाते हैं. They throw parties, they go to rave parties, buy out cars or bikes, they dream bikes. If they receive a 10 lakh funding, they will buy a 800 900 cc bike. So 4-5 lakhs gone. So that's the main reason. But if you are struggling, if you have the entrepreneur has seen struggle in the beginner days, so he would think that if he gets 10 lakhs, he would use it such that he can generate at least 1 crore from that. He just need prior to receiving the funding, he has the plan and the roadmap ready, so that he could get 1 crore revenue within 1 month after receiving the even if the tiny help. So that's the main thing. The incubations or the startups who are struggling, they need to mainly focus on.
In startup, right? In every company, if you are spending, you have to make an account. It's current account, right? If you are spending 1 rupee also, you have to write why you are spending this 1 rupee to your CA.
Absolutely.
But still, founders are there. They will buy something for themselves, like bike or car, whatever they may be, or something good thing for throw a party, and they can mention anything inside it and to show the CA. But to the investor, they need to justify it,
Yeah.
how the amount. But people are doing such thing, and I haven't seen that in Bhubaneswar right now. But still, I have heard something more about in Bangalore, Mumbai, and Pune, because there people more are like party. It's like if I got a funding, it's a time to party. At least party to throw karunga, paisa mila hai. It's so it's a culture there, and I actually that culture comes from Silicon Valley, right?
Yeah.
Where in Silicon Valley, if you are raising a fund, you have to throw a party.
Rave parties
Correct.
and all of those.
So such culture, but in Bhubaneswar, I haven't seen such culture. And I think government funding right now, the incubators are really looking into how you are spending the money very bit by bit. So I
Very
don't
strict
think
policies you could say.
they are looking very strictly how you are spending the money, innovator money. Sometimes you have to show UC, utilization certificate. First, you will show the utilization certificate signed by a CA. After that, they give money.
Okay.
So first you have to utilize the money you don't have. Then they will give money, right? So that's the funda I used to work right now.
It's like managing the college activities. You first show the bill, they will reimburse the money.
Exactly like that. Yeah. Actually, I hear that you have to just show the bill, and in our case, all the bills will be verified by a chartered account. He will generate a UDIN and he will sign in the certificate that I have verified everything, and that will go to the
Okay, the reimbursements.
reimbursements.
So it was nice to have you, sir. We gained a lot of information, and the students of VSSUT and the budding startups of our college, they could get a lot of insights, and it will be also quite helpful for the TBI, and thus we could help the students incubate into a TBI and give them financial support after learning all of how to manage finances, what are the process they can go through as and we are also glad to have you as on this session, and and on any future endeavors.
Correct, actually. I think as a TBI, you should first teach them about all the funding thing and valuation thing, compliance thing. That are the three major pillars. You have to first teach them that. After that, तुम करो धंधा अभी.
बिल्कुल.
ठीक है, ये तीन दिमाग में रख लो. इतने खर्चे होने वाले हैं. ये सब चीजें समझने हैं. बाकी after that you have the freedom to do anything.
बिल्कुल. Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.